Yeah, no, it wasn't. It wasn't about being stripped. What it was about was for us that, we opted to become the champion in recess because of everything that's going around with the Ryan Garcia and preparing for a fight when you've had somewhat I won't say you have a misunderstanding with the promoter that you did the fight with, right? So you're coming to an understanding with the Golden Boy, hopefully. And I'm very optimistic about that they'll come to an understanding, as well as being adjudicated for the fight that you were just in 2 months ago. So to ask Devon to mentally prepare to give the fans and everyone his heart, his soul, you know what I mean, and sweat. At this time, I told him, I said, I choose not to. I'm not going to negotiate both a new fight, a new venue, a new place, and also, you know what I mean, litigate these other issues. So, from a perspective of me not only just being, his pops and manager, but also having a whole lot of respect for him. I'm one of the ones that stood beside him and said, "Bro, no, take a break from it and take care of the business." You know what I mean? Clear your head of any of the bullshit, and we'll get back to it when it's time.
How long of a break you guys talking about? Because sometimes we know that we watch in the ring, like with the Charlos and guys, and sometimes ring rust, being out of the ring too long, can be a detrimental to the sport. So how much time are you guys looking to take off?
Being involved
And
in
Bill, to add to
32
that as well, on the
fights.
box rank, it sees that you guys are suspended as well. For how long are you guys suspended? For the New York State Commission, it sees that on your box record, it's suspended. For how long?
I don't know. I think I don't even know if what he's suspended for or why he's suspended. Because in terms of boxing business, we haven't did any. I've chosen to take the role of concentrating on the issue with the Ryan Garcia and the PEDs. That being primary, and then of course the financials with Golden Boy. So I've chosen to take the lead role and responsibility, looking at those issues alone and not any of the other boxing business. And you know what I mean? I told Deb that that's what I was going to do, and I've been standing on it. And he's respected my choice and my decision, and that. And he says that he's going to enjoy himself until the business get handled, and that's what we've been on.
Right.
But it's when you talk about Devon at 25, and then you talk about some of the other fighters that are 25. Millcity, do you know any of them? Who else is what else does the landscape look like at 25 years old?
I mean, no, as far as 25 years old, I mean, we got Bam Rodriguez that's fighting this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
He's been trying to become a 3-division champion, fighting the legendary Estrada, very young kid. David Benavidez, 26. Yeah, but yeah, definitely 25 years old. Your son is doing his thing.
Yeah. So even with that, when you're saying a Bam Rodriguez, by 3 division, that stands out. You say 3 division. Well, then Devin has an opportunity of, going up to 47. And of course, us, you have Mario Barrios. You have 140. You have Teofimo Lopez. You have, you have Liam Paro and Australia. You have several fights. You have great fights. For any 25-year-old, let alone an accomplished 25-year-old like Devin. So I believe that the future is bright. But now it's the time to to be the carefully businessmen that we should be. You know what I mean? And others, because they're being exposed.
Question. Yesterday, did you see the comment that Hoya put out there about Devin? Did you see the comment?
Yeah.
And how you feel about it?
Well, that's another thing. That's what I mean is with it being the Devon Haney era, where a promoter comes out and says the most stupid shit in the world that Devon can't sell.
He's talking about pay-per-views.
Well, what I'm saying is, what can Oscar sell? You understand what I mean? He can't sell shit. No one is going to go buy an Oscar De La Hoya pay-per-view. So when he says that, fighters take, we take a back seat. We take a back seat to the promoters and that they're going to promote. But who the fuck is coming out to see Oscar De La Hoya and what he's talking about? No, they use the fighters to promote. And unfortunately, Ryan Garcia elected to sensationalize other areas in his life that he was going through other than just promoting the fight and promoting the fighter that he's fighting, but he was promoting the stances that he takes on certain things. And I said that from the beginning, the onset. I said, well, he's, as Ryan Garcia, King Ryan Promotions, so we call it, he opted to promote in a different kind of way. Now, Oscar, who wants us to believe something else, he comes out and says this stupid shit about Poppy and all this other shit. But the people aren't stupid, man. You know what I mean? The people are not stupid in the sense of, Devon did the best that he could to ensure and to deliver the fight. The uncertainty that the fight presented was not on our part. So for Oscar De La Hoya to come out with the unprofessionalism that he's known for, and only shoot himself in the foot. To start talking about the fighter can't sell when you partnered with him to lead the strategism up for him to do it. Now, the thing about that is that Oscar has stepped out, in his superfly suits and all the shit. He says, well, it's only 3 promoters. And he says that, figure it out that he happens to be one of them. So if anybody is selling or not selling, then I guess the onus would be put on those 3, if you will, because of the juggling that goes back and forth. Oscar, we don't need Oscar to do anything on our side. We've gotten to where we are now without Oscar. We tapped him on the shoulder to put on an event. The fighter that he had, he wasn't able to control, coerce in any kind of way. He kind of just, lay it in the back and just took the dumb road. And now he jumps out that he's, he's Albert Einstein, which he's no more than Charlie Brown. Fighters we signed with the fight, we signed with the promoter because the promoter has the relationship with the network. If Oscar didn't have the relationship with the network, then no one would need him or any of his shenanigans. Period.
Can you go straight to a network? Can DHP promotion go straight to a network and try to make a card happen?
We're definitely in a position, and we're redefining what boxing and how boxing should be approached. Once again, the Devon Haney era. Now, some of these things that we're doing, of course, we take the brunt of criticism and all that, but hopefully, it'll be another father and son team or another fighter or something, you know what I mean, that'll receive, that'll receive some of the retribution, so to speak, even if we don't get it.
What's the relationship with you and Eddie Hearn now? You know what I'm saying? Did you guys officially part ways?
There's no necessarily parting ways in business, and especially the boxing business. And I don't want anyone to misunderstand that. I don't want anyone to be scared businessmen or be scared fathers or any of that. If you got the goods, then you got the goods. If the people want to see the fighter, then the promoters, the networks are forced to put them on, because that's just about delivering the best content, of course. And then if you don't, then you'll be forced to close the doors on boxing programs in general, whether it have been HBO or whether it be Showtime. But when you talk about direct to consumer, then we're direct to our audience. So we know, and we can feel the heartbeat of the people. I can look and see that it's behind us, the work we didn't put in. You know what I mean? We didn't did it for the people at 25.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Right. That's right. Talk that shit, cuz.
And the best is still yet to come.
You know, when you last time we talked on Before Champ, we talked about you being a solo promoter, that you will be able to, jump on any network, work with any promoter.
Show them
At this
straps,
moment in
cuzzo. Show them
time,
straps, cuzzo.
we
Show them
talk,
straps, cuzzo. Show
Eddie
them
Hearn,
how we do, baby.
Eddie,
There you
Eddie
go,
Hearn has spoken
cuz.
upon.
There you go. That's what it listen. That's what it's all about. The history books. And that's what Zab turned us out on. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. That's what Zab turned us out on, right? Mm-hmm.
That's the big one. Mills, we got it, baby. Let's go. I got some more in the room too. I gotta go. I gotta get
That
on.
green,
They high up. That's why I gotta go.
What's the name? But I don't want to mess nothing up on the thing. But I'm
Ooh.
gonna show them there on that
they
face
like
on there. You see that?
Show them that.
that green belt. Y'all like that
Show
green
them
belt. I'll tell you.
that, baby. Comments, come on, talk to us. Comments. Now we can talk. Now we can talk. What's up? Let's show the guy what we made of. This shows what you made of. What your picture? Show me your pictures, cuz. Show them the pictures. The pictures on there. Show who's your company? Who you aligned with? Who you in great companies with? Show me. I'm waiting. Show me the companies you with. That's
So,
what we talk about, baby. You
so
know?
Bill, like, a lot of promoters want to sign, fighters for like 3-4 fight deals, keep them over the long term. When it comes to Eddie, it seemed that you guys didn't want to do that, and he felt like he was like a disloyal. He felt disloyalty to that situation. Is there any, like, where do you feel like you guys are gonna move
Eddie, knock it
forward?
off. Easy. Eddie, don't. What do you say? Don't ruffle your feathers, Eddie. No, no one knew you in the United States until I knocked on your door and said it would be a great relationship. It would be a great opportunity to bridge the gap between a following that Eddie has in the UK, which will be a wonderful signing for him to let the UK know that he's done here in the US, having a Devon Haney, a sought after, you know what I mean, at that time, contender. He wasn't a champion. So it was a great partnership. It continues to be a great partnership. But in the United States, you're not kicking ass unless you bossing up. You know what I mean? And if it has to be a misunderstanding that we're workers and not bosses, right? If he says that he didn't understand or he needs to see us stand on it, well, Eddie, that's where we were when we knocked on the door and turned you up before he got Canelo and before, Ryan was there. And, before the zone, when we told him that digital television was the way to go, that you were going to be watching and getting it live right here, the boxing business, you know what I mean? On a digital platform. So we've been there. We talk. We don't just talk the talk. We've walked the walk. You know what I mean? And before before the perception is that we are anything but bosses, oh, you know what I mean? Sleep in a tent and drink muddy water out of a hollow log. You did.
Now, now Eddie's walking the walk right now with signing Jerome Boots Ennis, and Supremacy.
A great signing out of Philly. You did a great signing out of Philly. But what Jerron Boots Henderson is going to do in Philly, he's going to do for himself because Eddie Hearn can't help him in Philly. You might want to call Billy. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, because that's not going to help. Now, what we have to do as fighters is to continue to help ourselves, to continue to get out there and push it. You know what I mean? Eddie has a big roster. You know what I mean? He has a Jerron Boots Ennis. He has a Richard Hitchinson. He has a Liam Paro. He has a lot of guys.
Subriel
But
Matias.
Subriel Matias. But it takes those guys to get down for themselves as well. You know what I mean? And the more that you're getting down for yourself, the more that you representing, then you know you'll probably look at the relationship a little bit different. You know, and it's not saying that there's anything wrong with Eddie because he's a great promoter. You know what I mean? But when you talk about in the UK and you talk about the US, you know, we kicking ass around here. We're doing what we're supposed to do is bringing awareness to the fight, bringing attention to the event. You know what I mean? And getting in there and backing it up and giving a quality competition, whether it's Devon Haney, whether it's you know Amari Jones out of Oakland,
Shout
undefeated,
out to Omari.
or Shamar Canal. You know what I mean? Representing that New York as well. You know, but to come out and say something, dog, you don't. The people that fuck with us don't even know who Eddie Hearn is or know who Oscar De La Hoya is. You know what I mean? Devin is fresh. He's new, and even the trolls, the people
They don't know who
that's the
Oscar De La
haters,
Hoya is.
huh?
They don't know who Oscar De La Hoya is.
No, no. If you go to East Oakland, if you go to East Oakland and you go in my neighborhood, they won't know who Oscar De La Hoya is.
Okay.
You know what I'm
So
saying? They won't know. They won't know who Eddie. They won't know who Eddie Hearn is. They're going to know who Floyd Mayweather is. You know what I'm saying? Right? But they won't necessarily you just say who Oscar, oh, you say Oscar De La Hoya walks past and they know who he is. You know, and that's no shade to him. That's no shade to Oscar as well. We're only keeping it real and celebrating our fan base and what we've done and what we've brought to boxing since Real Devon Haney TV. You know what I mean? Right?
you know, there's a narrative going out there saying that now with all these new signings with Eddie, now he's making money versus sponsoring money going to some of these fighters. I mean, what would you have to say about
He's
that narrative that's going on?
No, he's a heck of a promoter, right? He's a heck of a promoter, and good luck to him. You know what I mean? But when we were talking about the narratives of what Devon Haney hasn't done, what DHP hasn't done, right? No, we've been in it. We've been in the big events. We've been in it. We've been in pioneering boxing. From linear to the digital platform.
Okay. Now, how would it, like, as far as you looking at this landscape? Shakur Stevenson got one more fight in Top Rank. What happens? What would you feel like if Eddie signs him? Like, how would that feel?
Is what?
What would it? How would it feel knowing that you have that relationship with Eddie, and if Shakur Stevenson goes to his stable?
Oh, listen. I wish Eddie and Shakur, the best of luck in whatever business that they do. I don't pick the business for either. I don't, you know what I mean, dictate that at
Do you
all.
think that would
And I don't have
happen?
any.
Just
Excuse me.
knowing you as a manager, seeing how boxing moves, do you see that happening?
I haven't looked into it. So I don't know. I know that Shakur. I respect Shakur's team that he has in place. So I wouldn't say anything against them as well.
Okay. Okay.
But that's where I think fighters get the misperception or conception that they're not pulling the loads when the company actually or the fighter, the promoters decide that they're going to put on a fight. They negotiate amongst themselves, and then they put the offer on the table for the fighters, right? Whether they beforehand or at that point have already gotten the money from the network. The network gives the promoter the money and the responsibility for putting on the event. But the the promoter says that they're out of pocket, that they're out of money, when
Not the network.
the network is the one that put the money up,
Right. Right.
Mm.
which which then
Games.
the fighter must recoup. The fighter must recoup before you ever go into the plus. You're still in the negative.
Mm.
Making money on pay-per-view.
Yes. So the recoup part, where Oscar says, um, it's not my fault or whatever. Well, that number before you recoup can be here, or in Oscar's case, it can be here. So
Mm.
when he said you can audit, well, if you have expenses, you've turned the budget from here to here. So of course, if every event that you get from the network, you're able to take it and put the expenses, but then of course you're going to run a company and you don't care what the fighter is doing and how mad he is or what position he's in, because ultimately it's business at the end of the day. You know, and as a fighter, two fighters, Ryan and Devon, they should be able to decide what those expenses are. Are they here, here, or here? You can't just take it and then tell them, now, here, I'm going to give you what's left. And then he says an audit. Well, once again, at 25, you never hear a world, let me get it right, not just a world famous, but a Hall of Fame fighter and promoter speaking about, you can audit me, 25-year-old young man, you 25-year-old inspiration to boxing, because this is the first time you'll get a chance to hear those things. Of course, there are Keyshawn Johnsons of the world that'll be coming behind him. There are Richard Hitchinsons, there are Shushu Carringtons, there are all these guys that need to hear this language. And I'm saying is, so it helps the generations to come. And this is our way of paying it forward, is being transparent. And I mean, it's just, it is what it is. Of course, the promoters have their agenda. They have their agenda. They'll get out and talk about the fighter and talk about this and that. But at the end of the day, because the social media following that the fighters have, they ultimately need the fighter and not the fighter needing them.
What would you have to say about people that are saying that you did a great job leading Devon to this point? You guys are getting legacy. You guys are getting belts, undisputed. But your name this is how you guys, the Haney name goes off of that, right? Undisputed, being a belt holder. That's where the popularity
Listen,
stands for, correct?
never in the world did we ever think that the time would come when when Cuzzo, my cousin, you know what I mean, Devon's godfather, would go and on social media, go get his belts, and we get the belts, and that's what it's all about. We here, baby. We here at 25. And before we continue with more belts and more misunderstanding, let's get down to it. The boxing business, and how, as a young black man, he can stop from being violated. So others that come behind it, they won't be violated as well. Because all those guys, I know them, Shakur and Shushu and Richard, all them dudes ain't doing no drugs, man. The era that I watched, that era of boxing, the young guys that's coming, they're not on PEDs.
No.
Ryan went and got that shit from, you know what I mean? And that needs to stop.
Oh, so you
Whoever
feel like
that is.
that was an old school tactic
Yeah, that
move
was
that he
some.
got that from?
Yeah, come on, Zach. Come on, man. We got
Okay.
caught. We got caught. You know what I mean? Stick up. You know what I'm talking about? We go in there to do some fair business. We come in with the money, you know. And the thing about it is, why I said the real. I go everywhere. You see, I go everywhere, and the real fuck with me. Real Mexicans, that is not real Mexican shit. I'm talking about Oscar Faker Hoya talking about that, flipping off and all that. Bro, y'all just got caught stealing. You just got caught stealing, and in my culture, right? The person that got caught, you gonna X that person out. You know what I mean? You're not gonna stand up for them and no. If you were in the pen, you would get the brother. He got to roll up. You know what I'm saying? But let us roll him up ourselves. If it's a guy from our neighborhood, let us discipline him. If it was a guy from our company, then we would do it. But by him coming out and saying it, I know then that he's not standing on business. And the trolls, the people that do comments, don't move the world. They don't run the shit. You know what I mean? The real niggas, the real motherfuckers, you know what I mean? That you guys take a picture with, the guys that when you see them, you say hi. They are. That's on business. And stealing and cheating and robbing and all that. We don't owe nobody a dime. We don't owe nobody a dime and ain't cheated nobody. So that's going to be hard to control. But you want those fighters. You want to be in a position that, of course, you're not controllable by the machine. What? We don't represent that.
So I mean, like when it comes down to the performance itself, obviously it is what it is. We've seen it, and what about your performance? What would you have to say about your performance that night as a coach?
My performance. Let me go into it before that. You know what I mean? Being blindsided and not seeing the old move that's on the board. You know what I mean? Where he's going to use drugs, and it's a big fight, and people are going to say, just like Stephen A. Smith, where he says, we cannot take back what we saw. Neither could we with Roots, but we moved on. Now, all the slavery, all the whippings, all the water hosing, all the stuff that then happened in the 60s to us, and we're talking about what we can't take out of our mind, huh? Yeah, all the injustices, the Trayvon Martins, and all the other stuff that happens, right? We can't take that out of our mind. Well, I mean, did we move on? Or are we still speaking about the injustices that go on? Because this is just the same. It's a media campaign, a media smear campaign to celebrate Ryan Garcia, and unfortunately, hate on Devon when it should be the opposite around. It should be you celebrate the guy that continues to get up. You know what I mean? No matter what. I thought that's what you liked. The warrior, get up, get up, get up. And now you find out that the guy is on PEDs, and Devin kept getting up.
From
He
round
said
one,
at the end,
from round one to
from
round
round
12.
one to round 1 to round 12, he said, and then at the end he said, alhamdulillah. So is that not what you wanted? Were you not entertained?
No, no, no. I'm talking. What about even before that? As far as like taking the money and the 3 pounds,
Yeah,
not making him lose any weight.
yeah. I will
That part
take,
at the end, not
yes,
making him
I'm
lose
wrong.
any other weight.
Yes, I believe that I made a wrong decision. Verse, you know what I mean, continuing for the sport, continuing to push a fight that I believe that was a big fight, a fight that, was two fighters that had a 3-3 rubber match, and now they were meeting to decide it all, right? It was an ultimate storybook fight. Unfortunately, it was some dirty pool in there. You know what I mean? And that was on his part. So looking back in hindsight, yes, I'll take the brunt of the onus. I'll take it on me and say that was something I should have pulled him back out the fight, or I should have did something. But now I'm putting my foot down and saying, hey, hold on. They're saying, okay, well, what about the next fight? What about the next fight? I said, no, fuck that. Now, no, ain't no next fight right now. Let's get through this. Let's get through this. Let's see what this looks like. And it's plenty of fights. And that's why I alluded to you early on in the conversation. I said, aren't there plenty of fights on the horizon? Plenty of fights he can do? right? Yes. Okay, well then let's get down to this business and what's what.
By any means, did you feel like you guys looked over him by any means? Because like talking to Wally Moses, he even said that just the coaching in the corner, and I would have to agree on this part. You told him to roll under the hook, which is something that's a lot harder to do versus using your hands and catching it, because at the end of the day, your hand twitch muscles are faster than your head muscles.
Your legs, your feet, your hands, they all go together. If your hands, you said you using your hands, right?
Yeah.
If I can tell my hands this, I can tell my feet the same thing to roll up under the same thing. Hands that, cause off.
But we're
Yeah.
talking
Do the
milliseconds
hands
here.
and
We're
feet go
talking
together?
milliseconds.
Hands and feet go together in the
Together.
game.
So that's what I'm saying is, if he can hit you in your jaw, he gonna kick you in your jaw too. If listen, the hands and feet they go together.
Go
If you
together.
think to put your hand up, you can take your feet and move the fuck out the way.
Because
With your hands up.
you know the science when you want to keep your hand here versus here. You know, it only
Well,
takes 3
yeah, you
inches to
should
be
keep
able
it
to
here,
block the
not
hook.
here. Don't
Yeah.
keep it here. Keep it here,
No, I'm
right?
Keep it
saying
there.
here.
Did you
I'm
just hear
saying
what
here.
Zab said? Did you just hear
If
what
jab,
Zab said?
for
Listen,
instance, if you got a
no.
badass jab,
But
right?
did you
You got
just
a
hear what?
badass jab. You're going down the pipe. I'm gonna keep it here, and I'm gonna wait for that hook. I'm gonna do this instead. If you don't
But
have the feet like Dev,
okay,
but
okay,
Dev didn't fight that way
okay,
with the
King.
feet.
Okay,
He
King. Listen.
was
What I'm
you was
saying is
stepping
you've
to him.
learned it. You've learned it. And I'm saying is everyone is very passionate about it. And I'm saying is, and they have their point of view. And it's just we're just discussing it. That's all. Is what Zab said is if you keep it here, then you've taken away the hook, and all you have is the jab. If you take it away, if you hear you're open it there for it to do that. But if you take it away right here, ain't no fucking hook. There's no hook.
Right. But we already seen, like Floyd Mayweather said, he was throwing the jab and he was moving his hand.
You said who?
So regardless,
Well, you've
the hand
seen
placement
what
was
you've seen.
completely wrong.
You've also got a chance to see Floyd doing the same thing, right? The same problem of pulling out. You've seen that. You know what I mean? I don't want to necessarily argue coaching
But he's
styles
fast
and
though. His
who
rhyme's
and
mad
what. You know
fast.
what I mean? I think that Wally Moses is doing a great job with Shakur. You know what I mean? Wish him continued success. And that's it. You know. But as far as that, I like that when you keep it up for that hook. I like that as well. You know what I'm saying? And you can
Mm-hmm.
close up for the right hand. You know.
Mm-hmm.
By any means, did you feel like that you guys were trying to make an adjustment in the fight? As far as it seemed like you guys were trying to step to him throughout the whole fight, which I applaud because we don't really see that from Dev.
Yeah.
But in the same time, we
Yeah.
seen
But
that
see,
whole
that
time. That's
was
not how Dev
and
wins his
see
fights, though.
no, and see, and that's the thing is that not only did he deceive us in the sense of that. He deceived us if we stepped to him that he was going to be not on the shit. You know what I'm saying? Make you strong. We way stronger than if you know what I'm saying. So if we know that you're on the shit, then of course it's a different kind of fight. But and I told you, I said, of course I believe that you caught us slipping because an outside fight should have been what it was from the very beginning. It should have never been that we were going to go on the inside, let alone going on the inside, and he's strong like he was.
you know, you spoke upon not wanting the rematch because I don't know if it's going to be fair. Publicly, Devin is saying he wants the rematch. What's the change of heart?
Well, no, it rematch will be on our terms. That's that will be a fact. We're
Those
not
terms
playing
are
back in. We're not
those
playing.
terms ain't those ain't written out yet.
No, but that's when it comes a time when Ryan really wants to do the right thing, right? And prove to the people, right, and us, right, that he's not a drug cheat. Don't go and slug back a few and start talking shit, fuck the hangs on. No, what are you gonna do? Are you going to show that you are really a clean athlete, or Well, we know that you weren't clean then. That you now want to be a clean athlete and you want to put on a big mega fight with Dev. Is that what you're gonna do? Or are you just gonna send Henry out and start crying, talking about Ryan come home, Ryan come home, Ryan come home? And we are definitely going to be the ones that's dictating the terms.
So if Vada and anybody associated with that, if they decide not to want to work with them, does that dictate the fact if we don't get the rematch or do?
You said that if they don't want to work with Vada.
Yeah, if Ryan doesn't want to, test with Vada, and those happen to be
Well,
on your term sheet.
Wait.
John,
I think better yet,
no,
we
look,
should
wait.
have an explanation of. Can you clear up the differences between Olympic style drug testing and VADA?
Yes,
Is
yes.
there a difference?
Listen, it's more stringent from what my understanding is, and it's not just Vada, it's USADA. Is it not Zab? What's the difference between the two?
I don't
Olympic style.
Is it
know. I mean,
Wusada's
Wus-
Olympic style
yeah, I
testing?
Look,
use
USADA.
both of them, and they're both strict.
Wusada.
They're both strict. They're
Yes, they're
both.
both. Yeah, so as long as it's one of the strict ones, Mill City, then we're cool with that. It doesn't have to be VADA. As long as it's a strict drug testing um, agency, then I'm all for it.
Yeah.
What do you think the difference is in this fight? What are the things that changes? What did you learn from the first fight to this fight besides PED, Ostarine, all aside?
That's the main thing right there is the Olympic style testing, you know, is that it needs to be enforced because on this level, there's not too much your opponent won't do,
Mm.
you know.
So, like, when it comes down to negotiations for this next fight, do you feel like this is why you guys are going to court? Because you guys say that you know it has affected you guys' career. You know what I mean? So this being going to court, dictating the terms and contract, this is all goes together.
The whole thing, it's a whole package with Ryan Garcia, and the biggest part of the package is the rematch and Olympic style testing.
Right.
So he'll have a way. He'll have a way to make it up. He'll pay both inside the ring and outside the ring for sure.
What would you have to say about the people saying that you guys did under 400 K pay-per-view buys
Um,
for
listen,
Ryan and Devon Haney?
well, it's about time that it's low enough that you just give it to us and let us report back to the people. Because this same thing that each promoter, they don't need to be in the business. If only thing that they can do is report low numbers, then what are they in the business for? Which numbers are high? Let me tell you that. Whose numbers were good?
You guys,
Tell
do
me,
you
come
guys
on,
think that
Mill
you
City.
guys?
I need you to tell me though, because you've been on it. Whose numbers have someone said this good? Any reporter? I mean, any
Nah,
of those
pay-per-view's been
promoters?
struggling.
No, I didn't say that. I said as the promoters, who have they came out and said that they did good with?
I mean, I haven't really seen no low numbers with Canelo.
No, I'm saying is who's come out and says, "Oh, I did really
Really
good."
good.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Like in today's under 400, if it's 300,
No, I
300
just
is
said
not
that. No,
bad.
I just said no. He reported. He said that that's like him. He's a loser at the casino, and you lose every day. Today you reported Bill Haney, right, and Devin Haney. I mean, are you just a loser? Are you a winner? Or are you not reporting your wins, but you're reporting your losses? What's going on? And I'm saying is, let's not mention Canelo. And let me ask you this:
Like
is
what happened with the Regis numbers? Like he's saying he
no,
got
I'm
no
asking.
backing.
No, I'm asking what happened with any of Oscar's numbers. Can you just tell me one time he said that? And he's a Hall of Fame promoter. He's somebody that he's established in the business. We go to him as the go-to man. Please, Mill City, just tell me one time the man that said Somebody did good.
You guys just left Eddie to work with him. Eddie didn't
I'm not speaking
want to work.
to business.
Eddie
I'm
told you not to
asking
work
you.
with him.
No, I'm asking you based on him, what other fight, and if we don't talk about Devon, has there been a fight that he's reported and he says that it did good?
Ryan Garcia and Gervonta Tank Davis.
Okay. Did he promote that event or did
No.
no?
No. It was
Okay.
no. It
Okay.
was well, go. That was confusing. They helped it, right? They helped promote that event, right?
You're not confused. You understand. You understand what I'm saying. There's
Well,
nothing. There's a concerted effort to
that's his
manipulate the
fighter, though.
people.
Regardless,
Listen,
that's his
no,
fighter.
if they listen, guess what, Mill City? If they don't say nothing, they wouldn't get exposed. But being that Devon, you gotta say something. You just gotta say something about Devon. It exposes to everything else. And that's why I said is I'm with DHP. And we here to stay.
Cause,
But the people are being exposed for their inconsistencies, Mill City. That's all I'm saying.
but when I'm looking at your pay-per-view trail, Bill, like
Uh-huh.
you guys did some pretty decent numbers with Lomachenko, and Tank Davis wants to fight, Lomachenko, and we all know that Lomachenko brings a whole country behind him. You know what I mean? So we trying to figure out where,
Well,
when it
Mill
comes to
City.
pay-per-view,
Well,
where the
Mill City.
Haney value is at.
Okay, Mill City. How about this? We've done more pay-per-view numbers than anybody outside of
Tank Davis,
yes.
you did more. You did more than what in the division you talking
Any
about,
yes.
in the 135.
I'm saying it's in or around anybody that you would put
Yeah,
anybody that you would
but now
try to
people gonna
compare to.
say, how much did Lomachenko contribute to that?
Well, he contributed as much as what his next numbers was. What was his next numbers?
He did. He wasn't pay-per-view against
Okay, Devin
Kambosos.
was. Devin was. Think I think Devin has been pay-per-view every fight. I don't think it's been I don't know. I think it's been pay-per-view for a little while. A few fights. Now ever
Last three,
since
right? Last three.
no, George Kambosos, that was also pay-per-view in
Where?
Australia,
Not in
though. It was
America.
pay-per-view. Not in America, but it was pay-per-view around the rest of the world. Okay, but at least see Lomachenko, Regis, and Ryan.
Yeah, the last three, and then
Yep.
we only know really kind of like pay-per-views for the Loma one, for numbers wise,
Huh?
gauging wise. We don't really know the numbers. We never gonna really know.
Well, we know what's the rest. We know that it's more than the rest of the around him. We know it's more than anybody else.
Now,
Right or wrong.
what's the like?
Right or
It,
wrong, Mill City.
huh?
Right or wrong. We know that it's more than anybody else outside of them.
In the division is one thing. The
In
sport,
or
no.
around the division.
I mean, yeah, we got David Benavidez. He's selling on his own as well.
No, I mean I'm saying it in or around the division.
Yeah, yeah. You around the division, when it comes down to it,
30,
nobody
35,
underselling
40.
pay-per-views, nobody overselling pay-per-views. Yeah. Pay-per-views hard nowadays. You know,
So you agree? So you agree we are at the top of it?
I don't know. Yeah,
Well, I'm
because
saying
you
of
have
a
a
hard.
res
No, Mills. What I'm saying is of a hard time. Devin Haney is at the top of.
by the resume, yeah. By the resume, you're there because there's not much there for resume
But
up there.
when I say okay, would we say also by the venues? If we take a look at the
Your gates
go
are
back,
high.
huh?
Your last gate at home was high. 15,000 was it? Was it more?
Hmm? Yeah, I think it was more. It was more at the Barclay, wasn't it? Too. With the Barclay about 15, 17, something like that.
Yeah, but that's Ryan Garcia too. You know what I mean? I like
Hmm.
going home and seeing
Okay.
what you could do at home.
Hmm. So okay, so we're at the top. We're at the top of all the numbers then, Mill City. So when you
Yeah,
say,
right under Ryan Garcia and Tank and Ryan Garcia.
well, with Ryan Garcia being out, suspended, and then Tank being there, then I guess we're 1-2, right? Millcity?
I guess for 10 months.
Well, you know.
How many fights can you get in there to beat that in 10 months?
Hey, listen. Well, it would be just like this. Is if I get off the live right now, you'll be number 2. But right now you're number 3.
Okay, Bill. Okay.
I was just a little at
I'm
you,
trying to
Trump. I
figure out
didn't
where
at
that
you
makes
again.
sense at. But yeah, I get it. Kind of.
Yeah. Well, no, it's three guys like us at the top of the game. You know what I mean? You're suspended. That leaves us 2. That's all.
No. And we want to know what's next. I mean, at the end of the day, like 47 or 40 at least. That's something that's very curious. And, possibly where?
Well, that's when
What platform?
we've taken our time and got a chance to talk to the platforms like Millcity and have established, a good understanding of who Devon is and what's going on and so on and so forth. Then you can pop back out. You know, but it's a lot of bullshit going around, and I'm glad to get on here and chop it up with you today, Millcity.
Yeah.
Nah, man, I
Yeah, you
appreciate
know
you
what I
as
mean?
well.
I do.
What you think about Teofimo's next fight this weekend with Claggett? That was a big fight too. That's still a big fight that people are still talking about. I see Bob still talking about it. Is that a fight that you guys? I mean,
Oh,
I don't know. That's a big fight,
absolutely.
right?
No, absolutely. Listen, absolutely. I'll be tuning in. Good luck to of course the Lopez's and what they'll be, facing, what I mean, outside of any fight with Devin and maybe, one or two people, you know what I mean? I'm a big fan of them. I saw Senior at the at the BWA's dinner, and we got a chance to talk. I helped him. His bracelet was falling off, but I helped him with it and everything. Senior is, I consider Senior to be a friend of mine. Uh, I wish him well. Against who is he fighting?
Claggett.
Claggett.
He's ranked
Steve
in the top 10 in the WBO.
We need
Steve Claggett. Steve
yeah,
Claggett. Yeah.
we need a Claggett. Where you get these Claggets from? We need a Steve Claggett, Mill City. Y'all doing a great job. You and
Yo,
Punch
I tell you something
with
interesting
the
about Steve. Steve used to spar with me back in the days. Say something
oh
interesting
shit.
about Steve.
Like
Yes.
Oh
that,
shit. Oh, you
Sam?
talking about old school Steve?
Steve Claggett,
Steve.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
He used to
The brother.
spar with me back in the days, yeah. So
He a brother, right?
no, he's from
Steve?
Canada.
Oh no. I don't know. I don't know that Steve. I don't know that Steve.
Hey, I listen. What do you think about the fight then? You're the
I
one that's
think
seen him.
no, I think you guys are doing a great job. You know what I mean with
You, you
this fight
know,
with Claggett. I think I don't know. Did
I think.
did T.O. did T.O. deserve a Claggett? Did he need a Claggett in his life? A Steve Claggett? This
But
kind of fight?
but his boss made a chess move though to get that WBC belt for
It
that
says
title.
Steve Claggett beat the guy that just beat Sabrius Matias.
Yeah, he beat him. He did beat
Who
him.
he beat? He beat Liam Paul?
Yeah.
Nah. Before Subia's first loss that he revenged,
Oh
he that
Lord.
gentleman.
You done dug up his first loss now. uh,
But
Mill City.
hey, it's part of the game. Hey, you win, you lose some, Bill. You gotta
Listen.
be humble.
No, listen. And no, I hear you. I hear you. But what'd you say about the Steve Claggett? Why did he need Steve Claggett?
No, well, I don't really look at that move. I look at what his boss did, to try to get that chess move to get a WBC belt. You know what I mean? So he could go and fight. What's this guy's name? The Dominican bull that
Puello?
just beat Gary Russell.
Puello?
Hoya, yeah, the former champion. That was a chess. That was a chess move.
Okay.
What you thought about that move though? But a southpaw, the guy that he could box. He beat Mikey Garcia. He dropped Teofimo Lopez. Very close, controversial win. People want to see
what I
you and
think?
Teofimo Lopez.
You know what I think?
They want
After
to see
you
Devon
got
Haney and
nothing, man.
Teofimo Lopez.
You
That could have
got
been a
nothing,
measuring
man.
stick.
Listen, after you got nothing, man. I don't think you have anything. I don't think it's nothing, man. I don't. It doesn't sound. You know. It doesn't get me up and going.
2.4.
2.4 what?
For the whole fight, right? 2.4 million for the whole fight. That's what didn't get you going.
No, I think that it's more like that's more of a Steve Claggett kind of fight. Steve Claggett, Teofimo kind of fight. You know what I mean? It's just one of the ones that just don't get the people up unless Teofimo. You know what I mean? Teofimo got to do the heavy lifting in there because you see we don't know who Claggett is. So it will be for some reason you guys are promoting and pushing for that fight. Because you keep saying no, because you say the boss. Because I'm alluding, I'm talking about Tio and Steve Claggett, but you're talking about Bob and Quayle.
Right. So I'm talking about his boss. Like that was a big move from Bob. And
No,
obviously,
I'm okay. Okay.
if now check this out. Obviously now, if you have Sando Martin, if he wins that fight, now Teofimo and him unify the division. That's why. You there?
Yeah, I'm there. But
I'm just trying to sum it up for
that
you.
was about as listen, that was about as boring as the response you can get from me from that. What is that? That's nothing, man. You don't have anything. When you get through with that, you got Devon Haney and Teofimo Lopez. That's what you got. You got big fights, you know. And if you need a Steve Claggett for whatever reason, I just was asking you, what does Steve Claggett do and what do you guys think about it? But
I'm looking past it. I ain't gonna hold you.
okay,
I'm
all right.
looking past it, and
Okay, well, you tell
I
the
ain't gonna
truth
hold you.
then. Now
I
you
look
tell the
past it.
truth.
Yeah,
You tell the truth.
I'm not in Miami. I'm not
Yeah.
in Miami.
Yeah. Well, you tell the truth that he can have a fight that y'all look past and that y'all, building
But is
or
catch
continue
weights
to
is where
do.
it's at? Is that what it is when you guys come back? Catch weights and F the belts type deal?
I'm saying that history is behind us. We've done it. Now it's about being in the right fights, but more importantly, Olympic style testing. It's now become where the world can see who can really fight, who can really go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who's standing up, raising their hand and saying, I'm with it. Yeah, I'm with the Olympic style testing. Let's do it.
My
I
thing
can
is
really
this.
go.
My thing is this. I tell everybody all the time, Devin. Since I know him from a young kid, he'll fight anybody. He'll fight anybody, but it's got to be done under the right
Yes.
terms, the right situation, and we'll fight. We'll get into it with anybody. Anybody. I don't think boxers are scared to fight each other. Boxers are not scared to fight each other. I think that what it comes down to is negotiations, having the right deal on the table, being comfortable enough to step into that ring, knowing that, okay, all of my T's are crossed and my I's are dotted. So now I'm gonna step in this ring and do my thing, so that when I get out of this ring, I know that everything behind me is taken care of. You know what I mean? I think that that's what stops a lot of great fights from happening that the fans want to see. Just that T's and I cross, the I's and I dotted in the background. That's why we're not seeing the fights that's happening today. But are fighters scared of each other? No, I don't think so. I don't think there's no fighter. One thing about me, I know Devin is a kid. He ain't scared of
No.
nobody. He'll go toe to toe with a fucking bear, bro. I'm telling you, I know him like that. He get busy. I tell people all the time. So that's why when people say, Zad bias, little bias shit. In the first round, when I seen what I saw, I was in disbelief because I know how great Devon Haney is. I know the kind of fighter he is. I said, something's gotta be up. It's gotta be fucking like this shit like this just don't happen, bro. I'm like,
No.
you know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? That's what my thing. And then look, now we're still here weeks later talking about that same situation where Ryan Garcia was tested positive now for PEDs. I don't care what kind of PEDs. If it was point fucking 0.0, it don't matter. It was something that was a banned substance that was inside of your system at the time of you being a fight that should not have been in your system. That's why we're here today talking about what we're talking about. You know what I'm saying? And I say that until we get 100% clarity, until we get 100% clarity on this situation, I mean, Ryan is listen, man. Listen.
Oh, he was 100% tapering off of a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? And right now, he should be proving to the people that he is a fighter, a real fighter, and be tested. He need to be tested. He need to be actively, you know what I mean, showing the people what it is instead of slugging back tequila and then acting like that. You know, you've done something. You've done something other than steal. You stole, dog. You hit it. You know, you hit a lick. You know, we showed up with the money. You know, you pulled out a gun. It's a robbery.
See, everybody's saying what they're saying in the comments because the shit wasn't done to you. Put the shoe on the other foot. Let it be done to you. Then we see you talk.
Yeah. No, but that's if you in the game long enough, somebody is gonna try to do it on you, right? Zab has been unfortunate. They didn't did it on Zab and they didn't did it on Dev. With fighters like that, that's talented like that, with heart like that, you know, you find yourself struggling whether or not to use PDs on these dudes because these dudes been doing their thing since they've been a kid. And now it's time that we bring a light to the situation. Each fight. See, you'll see fights, if they're really clean fighters, you're gonna see them raising their hand and talking about I need to have my fight, I need to have Olympic style testing. If they cheating, then they're gonna be quiet. They're gonna start doing the shit that, like, Tank, you gonna got a guy that get up on the thing and say, rematch me, bitch. You hug him, right? You hug him, and the dude is on drugs, right? He's been guilty of it, but you celebrate it because you're scared Devin gonna whip that ass. We seen it. You seen the sparring shit. I was waiting, had been waiting for that. Floyd kept the sparring for that reason alone. That's why when they clipped it, Millcity, they clipped it and they had me answering to the highlight film. But when you see the whole sparring came out, you see it could have been 2 highlight films. You know what I mean? And yeah, man. So maybe it's
So
more
why
than
didn't
just
you guys
that,
make your own highlight film?
man. Because it was Floyd and them that had the camera. Floyd and Ellie that
But
had the
now
camera.
19 minutes are out already. Now you could go and finagle and all that. All the buzz is off. It's done.
It's done. It's just off. It's just done. No. Listen, because y'all eyeballs, right? Now, your eyeballs, when you seeing him slapping the shit out of him, seeing Devin slap the shit out of him, y'all can take that out your memory. But when you see Ryan Garcia knock Devin down off of PEDs, you can't take that out your memory. You and Stephen A. Smith with your selective eyeballs. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Your concentrated memory. You don't remember. You don't remember everything. You just remember something. Yeah, you don't remember when Devin was bullying on him on there. He said, "Oh shit, Devin will smack the shit out of you. If you smack him, he gonna smack you back. You knock him down, he gonna get back up. Yeah, your eyeballs can't remember all that.
There's too many security. I already know how it is.
Yeah, listen. I know your imagination will run with you, Millcity. And as long as you think the security, do you think the security was with us, or you think the security was
I
with
think
them?
you guys have both. You guys have both of your securities there.
And
All I'm saying is that any
and
altercation that
so
happens,
the
Phil,
second
it's gonna
so the
get stopped
second
like
spar
this.
wait a minute. So the second sparring session came
You're not
out,
showing
and
me
you
nothing real. That's what I'm trying to say.
all
I
right, but
already
okay,
know.
let me ask you this though. The second sparring session came out, and what did you see? Did you only see security, or did you see anything else?
Oh, you're talking about the sparring session.
I thought that's what we were
No,
talking
I'm not
about.
talking about the sparring session. I'm
Oh,
talking about when you're talking about Devon Haney and Ryan Garcia pushing each other outside in the Empire State Building.
No, I'm talking about the sparring session.
You're talking about the sparring session. Oh no, that situation. What was the question, Bill?
No, I'm saying is, did you notice anything else when you saw the sparring session?
I seen that Tank. He was getting tired. He got tired.
Oh, okay.
He got tired.
Okay.
And
Well, see, that's why. Listen, that's why I come out because
everybody
listen.
was forcing
No, but that's why I come out
him to
because
punch.
I know y'all see.
They were
No, I
forcing.
know that what y'all don't see. Listen, I know what y'all don't see, and I know what history sees, and I know what. Don't worry about it. We're gonna keep on coming out. We're gonna keep on pushing this line. It don't even
Nah, but
matter
that's what they were
what you saw.
saying, Bill. Bill, they were saying that Tank got straight out the plane. He wasn't in shape. He just pulled up because he's like that. We all know that the
You said
Haney
he.
stay ready.
Listen, Devon wasn't even pro. He was 16 years old. I mean, I
Okay.
don't know. I don't know what you got to listen. I
Nah,
don't know what you
even
got
the
to do.
pros,
I don't.
even the pros,
I don't know what. Listen.
they're better conditioned. The amateurs are better conditioned at times, and you know that because they're throwing a lot of punches. That's why you guys get the amateurs to come and give you different looks.
So
You know that.
So you agree after you seen everything, Devin put that ass whipping on him after he got off the plane.
An ass whooping, an ass whooping, like 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 he was
Like
gonna
I
stop.
won, like I won the money, like you've never seen. Like he put it on him in a way that you've never seen anyone put it on Tank.
That I got to see. I never seen Tank like that. I never seen him tired like that. Nah.
No, so I'm saying that. So you've never seen no one do Tank the way that Devin did, get him tired and whoop on him.
Bill, that's sparring, Bill.
I just asked you a question, Millcity.
That's sparring, Bill.
Okay.
I'm a coach too.
So
I
you don't want.
understand this
So you
game.
don't want to see. So you don't want to answer. So just admit that you don't want to answer the question.
Bill, you haven't really been answering my questions. I just been like,
Oh, so we're gonna have a standoff right now. So you don't now
fully,
it's just
fully answer it, like fully, all the way answer some of the tough
fully.
questions.
Sounds like you're fully not going to
Nah,
answer the question.
I'm saying that's sparring, Bill. You hyped off of sparring. Didn't Mayweather talk to you about this already?
Well, listen, he got it too. Listen, he got a reason to talk about the sparring too, right? He got a reason to say that, right? But what I'm saying is, at the top of the game, what the people want to do is, because what the people want to do is they want to hear and they want to get a chance to see boxing like they've never saw it before. In Mill City, you know what I mean? You see a super talented Carmel Mouton who is kicking ass and taking names. You know what I mean? And we get a chance to see him no different than what we got a chance to see Devin. It's just a new way to watch boxing and cover the athletes. You know what I mean? We don't take anything away from them and say, sparring is sparring. Of course, we know that that's not under the lights. You know, the same way that you say that Floyd has said that under the lights, we know what we've done. We've done something that he hasn't done. You see all of them at one time.
You got people
So
asking about where can they get that Devon Haney merch at? Where can they pick up their Devon Haney merch?
I don't have a link or any place to necessarily send you to,